Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old Joe Roadie ready to go. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're Cynthia Carson from Sight and Sound Theaters, Branson, Missouri. Cynthia, thanks for joining us.
Why, thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you today.
Cynthia, give us a rundown on you and your history with Sight and Sound Theaters.
Yes. Well, thank you. Sight and Sound Theaters came to Branson in May of 2008. Actually broke ground earlier, a couple of years earlier, purchased the land. And I heard about Sight and Sound, was quite interested in the venue. However, I wasn't interested in being back into theater at that time. I had broken away and had the privilege of serving as marketing and director for a bank, of all things. And it was wonderful. However, I had two sons that were at that time still living here in Branson, very artistic.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old Joe Roadie ready to go.
They were hired at Sight and Sound in 2007, helped build the theater, or working on last minute of stuff, but they were hired to be craftsmen for the sets.
Sure.
I saw them coming home every night pretty excited about what they got to do, and just that they were able to use some amazing creativity, that they just had natural talent. So I was a pretty proud mama, still not interested. However, then they kept saying, Mom, you need to come over to the theater. So through the course of time, I did, within that time, sought out the opportunity to come and serve, and joined them in that April of 2008 and helped open up the theater. And so I've had the privilege of being here with them since we opened.
Very good. So your role now is general manager, correct?
That's correct. I have the privilege of serving. We have just about 300 employees here at the Branson location. And it's just an honor every day to come and be with this group of people who love doing what they do. And it's
300 full-time employees?
I wouldn't say 300 full-time, no. I don't know what the breakdown is, but 300 total employees. But yes, we do have a high percentage of them that are full-time.
Fantastic. Tell us about your theater and what it looks like and how it functions.
Oh, yeah. The theater, it's one of our nation's largest live musical theaters.
Okay.
We have two locations. One was where we started back in 1976. So we're almost hitting 50 years of being in business, back in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. But here in our theaters, each of them, they're pretty large. We hold a little over 2,000 seats capacity in both theaters. But what's really, really cool is the stage is huge. It's 300-foot wraparound. When you're sitting in the middle of that house and you just feel engulfed and immersed into the productions. Our productions, we desire so greatly that we can bring to life the Bible. We want people to be able to experience what it really would feel like being a part of that time. And Jake, what's so encouraging? Our guests say that, they sit there and say, wow, I feel like I walked back in time. I feel like I really am living that character and experiencing what it would have really been like. So we really, our greatest desire is just to bring the Bible to life. And that's, I really truly believe, with the heart and the passion of what a lot of our folks here, they want to do, we get to do that and do that well. We do that not only with two-legged actors, but we have four-legged actors and birds. So we have animals running down the center aisle. We have, it's a full array of the fullness of what life would have been like in a lot of those stories that we get to bring to life. So it's timeless in a sense.
So you also have a barn.
Well, we do. Ours is a little bit different here in Branson. The way our ground is in the Midwest, in this Ozark Mountains that we live in, we have a lot of levels. And so our barn is actually down on the main level, but you can get to the main level on our second floor and you get to main level on our first floor. So it's just, the barn is here in-house. Our theater here in Branson is like 339,000 square feet under one roof. So it's a pretty large, massive building that we get to
So
be
are
in.
we talking daily performances because you're in a tourist destination?
Yes, we run shows Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
Typically 2 shows a day. On Saturdays, currently, we're running them 3 shows. So pretty much on an average, we have a 10-show week that we run.
Mm.
Some weeks there'll be 11 shows that our cast members will be running.
And how many production staff? We're talking like technical, so lights, sound. How many different staff members in one performance? I guess what I'm asking is how many performances does, let's say, a light tech actually work in that week?
Oh, sure. They would work pretty much all of them. Yeah,
Really?
when we hire, they are hired all, pretty much our show run is full time. We do have some swings here and there.
Mm.
Currently, with our show production, as we call it, our show run, we would run about 120-ish people would take to run our show, give or take which show it is. Some shows we have 50 plus cast members, some shows maybe 46. So again, give or take a little bit, but yes, with our lighting technicians, our deck technicians, our animal handlers, wardrobe teams, cast, the whole crew. It's a pretty big operation.
Okay. Give us an idea. How many different shows per season do you do?
Well, currently how our model works, and I feel like it works really, really well, is when we have a premiere year or debut of a brand new show for this region. For
Okay.
example, we're really excited because Queen Esther will be coming to the Branson stage next March. And with that said, that will be here all year.
Okay.
We will start putting that up. Actually, December 31st, our show currently we're running will close out. People are waiting in the wings. We strike some of the set, and then we start working at doing what we call changeover, changing over the sets to the new set.
Okay.
And then rehearsals will start. But that will run then all the way through December. Now, this year, it is really exciting because we had Jesus, our production of Jesus ran. It was the second year we ran it here in Branson.
Okay.
We ran that all the way until October. We shut down. We had a 4-week changeover time, rehearsal time, and we opened up then November 4th with the current show running Miracle of Christmas.
Okay.
And that will run all the way until December 31st.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right, Cynthia, what is the best part of your job? What is the best part of your job?
Oh, my job. Actually, it's really working with this amazing staff. How we hire here is we want people to believe in what we're doing and understand the mission that we're called to do, and that is to bring the Bible to life on stage. When we have all like-minded people that want to do that, they all know what we're working for and toward. So I have the privilege of working with all the the leaders here and making sure that we're keeping on task of what we do. But it is then my next thing, really, it's stepping down into that lobby and seeing the eyes of people when they walk into our facility and knowing what they're going to get to see. And honestly, I see an awe and a wonder. I see an excitement, and that just gets me all,
Sure.
excited for them. And then after the show, if you're standing in that lobby and you say, thank you for coming, and just to know that our productions made a difference in someone's life.
Sure.
It's not just, for a lot of people, it's not just like, hey, that was a great play, good job,
Right.
go on. They look at you and there is emotion, there's joy, there's something, connection that they made with a cast member or the story. And so that's powerful to me.
Sure. Now, let's say theoretically you've got a new production coming up. Have you ever just stayed out of the production side in the rehearsals so that you would see it for the very first time in full production? Have you ever done that?
Oh, you're asking me the hardest thing in the world to do. No, I have not.
I don't think I could either, but
You know,
I know some people that have, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I have that that resilience to stay away because you know how good it is, you know.
Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the privileges that we have as an organization is that we do premiere a brand new show that we create. And all of our work, I would say 98% of work from conception of the story all the way to, you know, a design, artistic design, to all the creative, the engineers, to building all of our sets is all done in-house. So majority of that happens in Pennsylvania. We do have a full shop here that helps build a lot of the sets, put them back on a semi and send them back out to Pennsylvania to premiere. So I do have the privilege of getting to go to Pennsylvania and seeing when we premiere those shows. Some of my folks out here have not. And if we produce it or a live production of it or whatever, a lot of them don't want to see it until they can actually see it live in the house. So I know what you're talking about, and I know how that feels. But quite frankly, I am predominantly one that loves to be in it and experience it with our teams as we're learning and growing. But I'm not in the house when they're rehearsing all the time, no.
Okay.
But I do get opportunity.
Yes. No, it makes good sense. Makes sense. Cynthia, how do people find out more about Sight and Sound Theaters?
Well, the best way to do this, honestly, is to go on our website, sight-sound.com. And you'll find all the information from our Lancaster Theater, Pennsylvania, to our Branson. Also, we have launched Sight and Sound films, and our first film will be airing or be released in the movie theaters December 1st.
Nice.
Called I Heard the Bells. So you'll find that on there. Also, Sight and Sound TV, our digital platform. All that information's on sight-sound.com.
Very good. Very good. Cynthia, Carson, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine.